I could never really accept the standard form. So I was in a way like a rebel, and I had a lot of, like I said before, I had a lot of severe criticism from playing like that, because it was the word was out that nobody could play with me because I played too, they couldn't.
Anytime a player plays against the norm, he's considered one who rebels against the tradition. And I guess Elvin might be considered a rebel from people who expect the norm to be heard all the time. My general sense of it is Elvin plays to a different drummer and has the nerve and the audacity, along with the talent and discipline, to develop this not so normal approach to the instrument that has, of course, in this time, revolutionized the entire drum situation.
Could you tell me something about how the piece was composed? Three-card Molly.
Yeah, well, this was in 1957 when I was with J.J. Johnson on a big tour of Europe. On the ship, it was some guy who he had made a big oil strike. He was flashing his money around, and I didn't have any money. I still don't have any, but I really didn't have any then. So Wilbur Little and I, we decided to get him. We stayed, hang out in the bar on the ship. You get us a drink of scotch for 15 cents. So we stayed in the bar most of the time. So we got the cards. I said, well, listen, I'm going to show him how to play this game, three-card Monte. So I said, all right. And consequently, the game is it's like the P game, the shell game, two black cards and a red one, and you shuffle them and you see if you can pick out the red card. So then, if you do, you win. If you don't, you lose. So, needless to say, we had a very pleasant trip after that. So we call it three-card Molly.
And the hills are
My father was a deacon of the Trinity Baptist Church, and he actually was one of the founders of this church in Pontiac. My two older sisters, Anna Mae and Melinda, sing in the senior choir. My brother Hank is a great jazz pianist of today. My brother Thad, I think he's a great jazz trumpet player, a great composer.
He showed an interest himself, I guess, when he was small, because he beat on all pots and pans that he could find. He beat them out of shape. and he just decided, I guess, he wanted to be a drummer.
Well, I wanted to buy a set of drums, and I had the work that I was doing, going to school. I had a paper route, and so now I couldn't get any credit. So my sister Melinda co-signed. She backed me up,
my
and
money.
I think we scraped together about $20 or $30 or whatever for a down payment, and I got this set of drums, and so that was it. And I thought that I think there was no 14-year-old boy any prouder than me at that time, in the whole world, I think. That was really something. Detroit had all the nightclubs. This is where most of the musicians that were playing modern music, like in Charlie Parker's vein, the contemporaries of that. A lot of them were living in Detroit and playing around Detroit. And I wanted to be a part of that. When I got out of the service, I got into Billy Mitchell's band, and that became quite famous at the Bluebird Inn. We stayed there for about 3 years.
Could you just show me a little bit how you would take the theme of Three Card Molly and develop that into a drum solo?
First of all, we're dealing with a very uncomplicated form, which is a sort of a combination of blues and standard form. So, if we understand the melody, then we can understand how the melody or that rhythmic phrase can be developed. So, the melody being in terms of rhythm. So, now to put some substance to it, at this time, I'll play it again, and I'll add, say, the bass drum. All right. To give it a little more emphasis, I'm going to add the hi-hat to that. I only played the first phrase of the tune that time. This time I'll add the tom-toms, I'll add the end, and from there I'll go into another whole chorus of that piece, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, and we'll see how that develops. 1, 2, 3, 4. explain polyrhythmic style to a man in the moon. The poly of that word means many, and a rhythm, of course, so it just means many rhythms, and so that's exactly what it is. They're coordinated rhythms. In 1955, I made a move from Detroit to New York. I got a phone call from Charlie Mingus. He offered me the position of playing with Bud Powell. So that we became the Bud Powell Trio with Charlie Mingus and myself. When Bud performed, the club atmosphere was always like a cathedral. Nobody talked, nobody drank. I would very often find myself wiping tears out of my eyes. My knowledge of Coltrane first was from his playing with Miles Davis in that group. At one point, Miles asked me to substitute for Philly Joe Jones. So I met John Coltrane, and I liked him. I thought it was I'd never heard anybody play saxophone like that. He asked me at that time, would I be willing to work with him? And I said yes. He was a very deeply sensitive and religious person, a very warm person. So we had a very congenial, very close relationship with each other, all of us. It was sort of like the perfect foil for my ideas, you know, and the way that I played, it fit in completely with the style and with all of the dynamics and everything that group was using, and it just, it was like a hand in glove, you know, it was a perfect, I played with other groups, and I've had sometimes severe criticism about the way I played. I didn't try to comply to standard forms. But with John, I was sort of, everything that I had learned up to that point, it gave it significance. We didn't have to converse. I think everything was in telepathy. I get images sometimes, color images. The lowest, the bass tone, say a low D, would be purple. The C will be red, and the F would be yellow. The hi-hat can be like inside your body, your heartbeat, being always moving and always there and always very definite. The snare drum can be like a mishmash of colors. It can be a small kaleidoscope where colors change very rapidly, very high and very pastels and flickering like a diamond. The symbols are like when pebbles are splashed in a pool of water, a big splash or a ripple, and well, this is the kind of the image that you get from the symbols. You can see the colors flow out like that in a circles. So it's very interesting. Here's another. I think this is more related to reds and yellows here. That's more blue and green, I think. Suppose we hit them both together. Many of us will never see the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but nevertheless, I think we know that what it is that we're doing has tremendous value, and it will leave something that will be lasting. The kind of recognition I would like to have is the kind that I'd like to see for everybody, and that is for this art form of jazz. You know, it should be something that we should hear the first thing in the morning. You know, when we turn on our radios to make our breakfast. I would like to hear something beautiful come over the airways. You know, people can be stimulated by something artistic. Get some ashtrays in here. Can you get some ashtrays, Jack? Can I get one? I want one anyway. One.
Ashtrays are coming up.
How do I look there, baby? How do I look, babe?
The only way, I guess, to illustrate or adequately define, I guess, Elvis' contribution to the drums would be to play a record of a pre-Elvin Jones drummer, play a record of Elvin Jones, and play a record of a post-Elvin Jones drummer. I think these three examples would best illustrate Elvin's contribution to the drums better than words could say.